County's local television network, TSPN. And now TSPN's proud to present Monday with Monique.
Welcome to Mondays with Monique. I'm Monique Crossaday, and I have Brent Lewis on our show today. Brent, awesome to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. So I'm really excited, more so than usual, because Brent Lewis owns a company called Real Serious Productions, and you're the producer and director. And he's bringing it to Jackson. He just, moved over to the neighborhood. He was born and raised here, grew up here. And so we have the most amazing thing now. TSPN's amazing. We also have like a movie production and reality type TV coming in.
Yeah, I do a lot of reality TV, and then I've got a motion picture that I'm actually writing a script for right now. So that'll take place next year. So I just want to come back to where I grew up. I went to elementary, junior high, and high school here.
Yes, right. I'm just so excited. I mean, it's such a wonderful thing for Amador County to have somebody like you, influential, and hopefully bringing jobs to the area, and just,
Always looking for lots of extras.
Yeah, good. I'm an extra whatever. So what do you want to cook today?
I have my famous mushroom risotto that I want to make today. So,
sounds good.
Yeah,
sounds good.
It's my favorite.
Kick it off, and then we'll talk.
All right, let's get these things started.
Okay. So you want both burners on?
Yes.
Okay. And you want them on high, I
Yep.
assume? Okay. Take the lid off there.
If you want to put half of that in there.
Sure, you betcha. You can do that. So half a stick of cold butter. You were saying that the temperature of the butter was important.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just makes it easier to work with.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And then you moved over the weekend. You must be exhausted.
Yes, I moved all day Saturday. And we're going to take a quarter stick over here for the saute.
Sounds good.
And what happened was I decided to do it all in one day because they said we were going to get a lot of snow.
Right, I remember that, yeah.
And then we didn't get a lot of snow. So we want to bring the temperature down to medium over here or low.
Okay.
Just until you get the butter to melt.
Okay. Sounds good.
And I'm going to chop up the mushrooms.
Alrighty.
So one of these containers I use to mince or chop up real fine the mushrooms.
Okay.
And we're going to saute these with some white onion, or you can use yellow onion. It's kind of your own taste. Even the purple onions, they have a different taste to them too. So, and then we're going to finish it off with a red zin. And I had you bring a special wine today.
Come on over here, we can see you. Yes, I did. So what I brought is Rombauer Zin, and it's Rombauer, of course, everybody knows me, knows I love Rombauer Chardonnay, but they make amazing red wines too, and a lot of people really aren't that familiar with them. They're on the higher end of the wine, so they're nice quality, and they really make a dish like this come alive. This type of Zin is just bam, really,
It's important that you use the Zin. It gives it a special flavor. I know people that use different kinds of wines, but my personal preference, it's been really good with the Zin.
Okay.
Like I said, everyone has their own personal preference. So you want to get that outside layer off that onion because it's really, I don't like the outside layer on these onions.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. It's just texture's not right.
Yeah, and then you just want to get them, I'd say like 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch chunks because when you saute them, they're going to soften up.
Right.
So.
Almost disappear.
Right.
I went ahead and turned the butter off on here because it's getting a little brown. Is that okay? Brown butter's all right? Slightly brown?
And then what we can do is, let's open this.
Yeah.
Now all these ingredients were bought right here locally last night in your own supermarket. This one wants to be stubborn.
Of course. So you went to Rayleigh's for this particular, did you go to Rayleigh's? Yeah.
You can buy it anywhere.
Okay.
So you just want to spread it evenly in the pan, and what you want to do is, anybody who's ever cooked like rice-a-roni or something, you want to make sure you get a nice brown on this thing. I usually leave it on medium temperature so it cooks slow because while I'm sauteing over here, I want to make sure that I'm not burning that. You don't want to burn it.
Right.
And this on low.
This is an Italian rice. It's just delicious. I've had it before.
Arborio.
Arborio. And what's unique about risotto is that the technique is what makes the dish.
You have to be
wrong
patient.
technique, dish doesn't turn out right. It turns out like
you have
mush.
to be very patient.
So this is really great.
Use a half an onion, and it's really nice because we're using a whole bag of that arborio. And that is a 1 pound bag of arborio. We're using a whole box of the chicken stock,
Okay.
2 cubes of butter.
Love it.
But that's what makes risotto so good is the butter.
It's true.
A lot of people, oh, don't put so much butter. Well, it doesn't taste as good.
Right,
So,
and then, it's going to end up starchy and mushy if you don't have the right amount of butter.
I'm not going to use this whole onion because that's a lot of onion. So.
Okay. So you went like maybe 2/3 of it?
Probably 2/3 of the onion,
Okay.
yes.
Good. And so what I'm going to make in conjunction with the risotto is a spinach salad. And the cool thing about spinach salad is really the dressing is what makes it. It's a warm spinach salad dressing. I went ahead and took a container of spinach. It's half spinach and half lettuce blend, the baby leaves lettuce blend, and went ahead and just put them in there. And I cheated a little bit, and I bought the bacon that's already cooked. Usually I cook it at home, but this just seemed like such an easy way. I go, hey, let's make my life easy today. So this bacon is already cooked. I'm just going to chop it up a little bit, and then we'll make the dressing, which is simple. Very simple. I also have some orange-flavored cranberries, which I'm just going to sprinkle on top. And this is a recipe that anybody can make. It's just so easy. So we'll start that off. How's it looking there?
It's looking really good.
Yeah.
Getting a little warm on the rice, but
The rice looks good.
what we're going to do is once you get your rice kind of cooked in, you want to break open your chicken stock because it's also going to help it cool it down.
Okay. So it looks like, you have a golden here.
Yes.
Sauteed to a kind of a golden color.
Yeah, you just
Looks
want-
yummy.
Everything's being difficult today.
Ah. There you go. You got it.
So you just
Perfect.
want to cover the rice,
Okay.
and the more and more you cook it, the better it smells.
So do you use like maybe half that container, or will you
No,
use the whole
that's-
thing in total?
Eventually, the whole thing will be used on
Okay.
this. And like I said, it's a game of patience. So you want to just make sure that it's covered at all times. You want kind of a lower heat,
Okay.
and you want it to absorb that. What that's doing is arborio rice takes longer than any other rice to cook. So you want to make sure you do it nice and slow. It's just, like I said, it's a
The
game.
patience.
It's definitely patience.
Yeah.
But in the end, it really pays off.
Looks delicious. Looks delicious. So what's happening over there with the onions and mushrooms?
We're just going to saute them until how I can tell is the mushrooms will actually turn darker, and then the onions will become transparent looking.
Okay.
You don't want to burn them because then it's going to taste like burn. But
Kind of caramelize it a little
yeah,
bit.
and I'm
though?
on a medium temperature here.
Uh-huh.
So after you do the medium temperature, right before I know I'm ready for the wine, I'll get the pan really searing hot.
Okay.
And it seems like when you get it really searing hot, when you pour the Zen in there, it just infuses right into the
Okay.
onions and mushrooms. Now, if you want to add garlic to this, you could. For this particular dish, I don't do much garlic. Now, see how it soaked it in?
Yes, it did. It absorbed it
Okay.
really well.
So you just want to make sure you cover it again,
Okay.
a little bit lower heat. And you want to stir it for sure. You just want to constantly stir it, make sure it's not sticking. It won't usually stick because we've got butter in here.
You were telling me that you preferred the larger pan, a wider mouth,
Yeah, I
like
like
maybe
to
12, 14
spread
inch
it out.
diameter, right?
I like to spread it out. If you bunch it up, it seems to get starchy. So the
I
bigger
noticed
pan I
that.
use, the better it seems.
I've made
So,
it in just like a regular rice saucepan.
Right?
That's maybe like a 7-inch diameter and maybe 4 inches deep.
Right.
And the texture's not the same. So
Okay,
the pan makes all the difference.
So right now I turn the temperature up. We're going to break out our Zen.
Okay.
All right. And what I want to do is I usually put 2 or 3 ounces. If you like a lot of wine, you're a wine drinker, you probably want to add a little more.
Okay.
But what this does, it just soaks right in there. And just
Looks like
smell
about
that?
a cup, maybe 3/4 of a cup. What do
Yeah,
you
I
think?
put a little more.
Okay.
I know you like your wine,
I love wine.
so
Ooh, that smells
You
good.
smell that? It's
Yeah,
just amazing.
Yeah, it's really good.
and see as you do it, everything turns purple.
I know. And you see, the thought that I had in the past about risotto was that people used a white wine with it, which
Right.
is, with your recipe though, which is amazing, you use a red wine
Right.
and the flavor just pops.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
it really makes the flavor in your dish.
That's why I said when I accidentally happened on the Zen, I was like, wow, that's really good,
Yeah, you've got the secret there. You've definitely got the secret.
I was like, he put Zen in there?
I know. Did you see him put that red wine
he
in?
put that Zen in there. Amador County is going crazy right now.
And Amador County is known for our Zins here. I just happen to have Rombauer, you know, in the cellar there.
Well, when I found out that I was moving to Jackson where I grew up, I was like, you know what's good about Jackson is I can use a lot of wines for my cooking, and most people don't know that I'm a cook. I try not to talk
You're
about that
more
part.
than a cook. When people try this recipe, they're going to call you a chef, not just a cook. This is an amazing recipe, and
What's
the
funny
technique is there.
Anybody who's been in Amador County long enough, my first job was at Bar T Bar Restaurant in Plymouth.
Oh, you're kidding.
I was a dishwasher there.
Wasn't that,
When I was like 16.
is that a Mexican place now?
It is now, but it
Okay.
wasn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Mark and Alice Kern owned it back then. I'm surprised I even remember that.
Uh-huh.
But it was a beautiful steakhouse, and I loved working there. They were great people.
And what did you do for them?
I was a dishwasher.
A dishwasher,
And then
okay.
I helped prep
But you
cook a little
learned
bit.
how to cook. And
I just
some of
watched
the
the cook
basics.
cook.
Yeah.
So what I did was I just added another like quarter of the butter
Okay.
into the saute. And what I'm trying to do is cook off the wine. And then the butter just makes it so it won't stick to the bottom, because what I'm going to do is turn the heat off.
Got it.
We're going to let that stand.
Looks good. Looks delicious.
So now we're going to focus. Like I said, this is a game of patience. So now
Teach me some. I have very
we're
few.
fighting with the risotto rice. And the arborio rice is just, it's frustrating because people want to cook fast. People are hungry. And this is not a fast game. This is
You
very,
have to
very
take it
tedious.
slow.
So where are we at over here?
So what I'm doing is I went ahead and added the orange flavored cranberries to the spinach salad. Some of the pre-cooked bacon, which is easy, just pick it up at the grocery store.
Right.
I chopped some of it. And so we're going to get ready to show people what to do with their extra Easter eggs. But we're going to go to a quick commercial, so stay with us and we'll be right back.
All right.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN. Amador County's local television network, TSPN. And now back to Monday with Monique.
Here we are. Welcome back to Mondays with Monique. I'm Monique, and this is Brent Lewis, Real Serious Productions. And Brent is not just a producer, but he's a chef as well. So, recap. What have we been doing here?
Okay, so what we've done is we're doing the reduction here, and as the rice absorbs the chicken stock,
Right.
we're down to half a box of chicken stock right now. And at that point, that's when I involve my sautéed mushrooms and onions. We introduce that to the pot. And there's one season that you only have to use, and everybody goes crazy over it.
Garlic salt.
All faithful garlic salt.
I love it.
And what you want to do is I sprinkle the whole top
Okay.
with the ingredients I give you, the whole bag and the box. If you just sprinkle the whole top, it seems to be just right.
Just the right amount. Can you see that there? That looks amazing.
My measuring system. Cover the whole top.
Yeah, you know, I do that too. Anything
Right.
that's like a spice, it's really
Right.
hard to say, oh, I used a half a teaspoon.
You can already smell the
smells
togetherness
delicious.
there. We got some camera guys like, I'm hungry.
Yeah, feed me.
Right.
That looks so, so good.
Right? So keep it on there. So same thing. And then after you get it all mixed in great, you just want to flatten it out. And then same thing with the chicken stock. We're going to end up using the whole box of chicken stock.
Okay.
So
Sounds good. Delicious. So easy on the salad. I sliced some mushrooms. You can buy them pre-sliced. They just didn't have them today when I went to the grocery store. Of course, we put the raisins or the craisins on there. They're orange flavored craisins. We put the pre-cooked bacon on there, chop some up, put some on top and as an X for garnish. I'm going to chop up a little red onion and sprinkle it on top, which is real easy to do. And then we're going to take our hard-boiled eggs, which I thought this was a perfect recipe for right now because people have lots and lots of Easter eggs that are probably go uneaten. So one of the things you can do with those Easter eggs is, you know, peel off the shell and use it in this spinach salad recipe.
at this point, what you're going to do is all the rest of the chicken stock is in there. We're going to add one more cube of butter. So we're going to take that half and this half.
Okay.
Oops, goes in there.
Okay. Sounds good.
Don't burn yourself.
I'll try not
I'm trying
to.
to take out Monique.
There you go.
Okay, and what we're
Done.
going to do is we're going to put that over there and over here. And we're going to put a lid on this.
Okay. So now is the time you put the lid. We're about 17 minutes into the cook time.
Right.
So that's a really good thing to know because most of the time people put the lid on in the beginning.
Yeah, you can't.
But you can't, it doesn't cook off the liquid, right?
Right. Everything was to cook everything down, and it's absorbing it right now. So right now what we're doing is everything's joined together. So with that lid on there, everything's getting all the
Kind of
flavors
melding
and everything
together.
I usually leave the lid on for 7 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
So when that pops off there, it should be just after
Perfect.
10 minutes and then ready
Wow.
to serve.
Sounds amazing.
So what I did do is I have some that I made earlier because we didn't have enough time. Risotto usually takes an hour.
Okay.
So done
Right.
this way.
So we're just going to let it simmer. We'll go ahead and open it up a couple times and see
Yes.
what kind of progress it's making.
Stir it
so
up.
tell me about you, where you lived. Give me the history on you.
You know, I grew up, I went to Plymouth Elementary and Ione Junior High and then Amador High School. I graduated in 93. And then I was a fourth generation custom car builder. My father was a body man, his father was a body man, his father was a lead sled builder. So we grew up, that's why I had the pinstripes and stuff, as I grew up building cars. So after 26 years of building cars, the doctor said, you keep building cars, you're going to die, dude. So I said,
Because it's just such hard work and it's hard on your body.
all the hazardous material, your paint thinners, your paint, that stuff's all bad for you.
Right.
So he said, you need to take your artistic ability and do something different with it. So I started looking into production. So I invented a children's toy called the Gun Bug back in 2006. So I patented it and everything, and it's bugs, the shells pop up and guns pop out. And so I was doing some auditioning for voiceovers for this animated series that I created.
Right.
And I run into all these celebrities that are like, I'm on board, I want to
That's
come
the
out.
most exciting thing
Yeah.
is the people that you know.
So as I'm hanging out with these celebrities, they're like, well, you know, tell me about what you've done in your life. And I started talking about me growing up, you know, and I was a bouncer for 19 years at night. So as I'd work on cars in the day, I'd be a bouncer at night. So like, you should do some shows about that stuff. So I started creating shows, reality TV shows, because right now, 80% of TV is reality.
And you have a brilliant mind because you think of things I never would have thought of. Really, I mean, you have such a creative mind. That's what I like about you, and you're a really solid person. You know, you do what you say you're going to do.
I was raised that way. My parents are still
Me
together.
too. I see, and that says a lot.
Sure.
That really says a lot.
It's hard for me to look at other people because people that grew up with a single parent, I don't understand how that concept works because I still have both my parents.
You're so fortunate.
Right.
I'm going to just tell people here a little bit about the dressing. So I used about 1/3 of a cup of red wine vinegar. I used 2/3 of a cup of white sugar. I used about 2 strips of bacon that I chopped up and 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. I like the whole grain. And a little bit of pepper, maybe like half a teaspoon. And I'm going to put maybe a half a teaspoon of salt in here. And
Between
that
the
is
dressing and this, I'm like, I'm hungry.
I know. And if you cook the bacon yourself and you have the drippings from the bacon grease, put it in here. You can use up to 1/3 of a cup as well because it just enhances the flavor that much more. We don't have the drippings here, which is fine. It's still going to be amazing. Let me do a little taste test here and see if we need any more sugar. It's perfect. It's perfect. So I'll go ahead and put this on.
That looks really good. So now we're just basking in the aroma.
And it smells delicious.
So what I decided to do was, I've been working out of LA and Malibu, and then we just filmed in Reno for 6 months for American Diesel Dogs. That show's supposed to come out with Velocity, and so that's gonna be really good, and be looking forward to that. Plus, we'll probably do a parade here in Jackson with the American Diesel Dog trucks because
that'd be
I'm the
cool.
producer, so we'll try to bring that to town. Maybe we'll do the county fair next year, something like that. I can bring all the trucks. But what I want to do is come back to my roots, bring Hollywood here. Let's do some filming. Let's involve some local people. Let's get everyone involved in Hollywood stuff because let me tell you, it's really fun.
Yeah.
Like I never knew what I wanted to do.
You're so passionate about it,
gosh, I
you
love
know?
it.
You're so
I'm
passionate.
finally able to take my artistic ability and bring it to life. So it's really awesome.
Great, great. It's looking good, too.
Yeah. I tell everyone I'm the most uneligible bachelor there is.
Because you're married to your job?
I'm married to my job.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't have time for that other stuff, I figure I've got 5 to 10 years to dedicate to the film business.
Right.
And then I'm going to go fishing back east on the FLW tour like I used to.
Oh, I know. That's so neat.
I have a passion for that, yeah.
I want you to take me fishing because I usually go fishing but not catching. So I want to catch something.
Lake Comanche used to be my favorite when I was a child growing up here. We used to go out to Comanche like every weekend, right before the sun went down. We had this favorite little island that was 5 feet underwater, and the bass would roll up there to feed at night. It was just, I can't wait to get back to Comanche and go fishing. So.
That's great. I'm going to plate up the risotto. That you go ahead and hand it to me.
Sure.
Brent was kind enough to make the risotto last night, so we were sure that we'd have the cooked product so we can try it here on the show. And so I'm just going to plate up a little bit here.
It's always my favorite the second day, by the way.
Yeah, the flavors blend together better, don't you think?
The next day, it's just like...
Let me give you that.
So you could take this to work in a Tupperware, and everyone at work would be like, can I have some of that?
Wow, once you heat it up, they're just going to come begging for more.
Now, in a restaurant down in L.A., this would be about $80 worth of risotto right here.
Yes, right, because it's a big portion. It's heavy.
Sure.
And then I went ahead and I just put the dressing on the spinach salad.
Awesome.
We used a little chopped red onion, a chopped up Easter egg, mushroom, the cranberries. They're orange flavored cranberries. I happen to get them at Trader Joe's. And then the 50-50 mix, which is half spinach and half baby greens. So.
Well, I know you guys can't smell at home, but whatever dressing she made it's phenomenal. I can smell it.
Can you smell it?
Over my risotto.
Oh, wow.
So.
Well, there's the red wine vinegar in there. So,
that's awesome.
you know, you
It's
do
really
maybe third cup of red wine vinegar, 2/3 cup sugar, a little bit of bacon, 2 teaspoons of the stone ground mustard, and that's all there's to it. A little pepper, a little salt. So it's a really simple recipe.
If you take the camera and look in the pan and you look on the plate, there's not much difference.
It looks like it's close to being done.
That was made last
Huh?
night,
Look
and
at
this
that.
is made today.
So that's
So
it looks so similar.
It keeps really good, and it doesn't really lose much flavor. So
Right. So I'll tell you what. There's 2 forks over there. You can try my spinach salad. Put a little more dressing on there.
Awesome.
Just a little bit. And it's vinegary, so, you know, don't inhale it.
vinegar.
Okay. You know how sometimes you inhale a vinegar dressing and it chokes you?
Yeah, you're not.
Okay, so grab a fork, check it out.
We're
that
bringing
for
the
you.
napkins and all with us.
That's right.
I want to try this.
And I'm going to try your risotto.
That's phenomenal.
You like it? I like it.
Yeah, you got to give me a recipe for that. That's really good.
That risotto is the bomb. That's the best I've ever had.
And that's the next day.
It's the best I've ever had in my entire life.
So we got the real stuff here.
We're going to call that lunch for the crew?
Yeah, in 20 more minutes, this is going to be ready for the crew, but unfortunately for the short segment, you know, arborio rice is a pain in the butt.
Well, I mean, people want to see how to do it.
Right.
Obviously, they can continue to let it cook
Yeah,
at home
from here,
and know.
we're just cooking.
Right. So, and you're cooking, would you normally have the lid on or off?
Right now, I want it off because there was a lot of the chicken stock in there.
Okay.
And then at this point, if you taste test it and the rice is hard, you can always cover that thing back up.
And continue cooking the
So you're
rice.
cooking it on low. Don't get impatient and put it on high or medium.
And that's me.
It
I'm
will
like,
burn,
hurry up and cook.
It will burn and it will taste awful.
Well, we'll have to keep that patience in mind, definitely.
Absolutely.
So, Real Serious Productions, we have about a minute left, and so you're here now.
Yes.
And you'll be putting together your studio here shortly, which we're all really excited about.
Hopefully over the next couple months we'll be done with the studio. And then we'll start inviting people down, take some tours, and show you
You're
what
going to
we're
do
about.
acting classes there too, right?
Yeah, Michael J. Cutt. He's a world-renowned actor and award winner. He's been acting since 1979.
He's been in all kinds of different things.
He used
Most
to be the
recently,
original Ronald McDonald.
Right. Most recently, I've seen an Advair commercial. He was in it, but he has quite a few other things he's done.
Absolutely. He'll be here teaching classes, 6-month courses, 1 week out every month. And hopefully we'll get together with locals and we'll make sure that everyone can get in.
Sounds like it's going to be great for the county.
It will be.
Brent, I want to thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate it. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for watching
See you
Mondays
later.
with Monique. Try out these recipes. They're amazing. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.